It was a bright and sunny day. The sky was a clear, brilliant blue, and the warm sun bathed everything in a golden glow. On this perfect day, 3 old men with long white beards were wandering along a quiet road. Their beards were so long that they nearly touched the ground as they walked slowly and steadily. The old men seemed to carry with them a sense of peace and wisdom. Their faces were calm and gentle. As they walked, they spotted a beautiful little house by the side of the road. The house had a bright red roof, white walls, and a lovely garden filled with colorful flowers. It looked like a happy and welcoming place, and the 3 old men decided to stop and visit. They walked up to the front door and knocked gently. After a moment, the door opened, and a kind-looking lady appeared. She had a warm smile on her face and looked surprised to see the 3 old men standing on her doorstep. "Good afternoon," she greeted them politely. "How can I help you?" The old men looked at each other and then at the lady. "We have been traveling for a long time," one of them said, his voice gentle and kind. "May we ask, are all the members of your family at home?" The lady looked puzzled, but replied, "No, it's just me and my mother-in-law at home right now. My husband and children will be back in the evening." The old men nodded and said, "We will wait until all your family members are here." The lady, curious but kind, noticed how tired and weary the 3 old men seemed. They had been traveling for a long time, and though their faces were calm, their old bodies looked like they needed rest. She couldn't bear the thought of them sitting outside all day without any food or drink. "Please," she said warmly, "you look so tired and weak. Why don't you come inside and have something to eat? I can bring you some water and a little food. You can rest here until my family returns." The 3 old men smiled gently at her kindness, but they shook their heads. "Thank you, dear lady," one of them said, "but we are not hungry, and we do not need anything. We will wait here until evening." The lady was surprised by their response. It wasn't often that guests refused food and rest. Still, she respected their wishes and didn't press further. She offered them a spot under the big, shady tree in her garden where they could sit and relax while they waited. The old men accepted her offer, and soon they were sitting comfortably under the tree, enjoying the cool shade. The lady watched them from the window as they sat quietly, occasionally talking to each other in soft voices. She couldn't help but wonder who they were and why they were waiting for her whole family to return before coming inside. As the day went on, she checked on them a few more times, offering them drinks or snacks, but they always politely declined. The lady's curiosity grew stronger with each passing hour, and she found herself eagerly waiting for her husband and children to come home so they could finally discover the mystery behind these 3 old men. As the sun began to dip in the sky, the children came home from school. They were full of energy, their voices filling the house with laughter and chatter. The moment they entered, they noticed the 3 old men sitting under the tree in their yard. "Who are they, Mama?" one of the children asked, peering out the window. "They're visitors," the mother replied. "They've been waiting here all day, but they won't come inside until your father gets home." The children were curious. They had never seen these old men before, and there was something special about them that they couldn't quite explain. They wanted to go outside and talk to them, but their mother asked them to wait until their father arrived. Soon the grandmother, who had been resting in her room, joined them. She was an elderly woman with a kind face, and she was just as curious as the children. Together, they all looked out at the 3 old men sitting so peacefully under the tree. "Why haven't they come inside?" the grandmother asked. "They said they would wait until the whole family was together," the mother explained. The grandmother nodded thoughtfully. "There must be a reason," she said softly. It wasn't long before the father arrived home from work. He was a hard-working man who cared deeply for his family. The mother quickly told him about the 3 old men who had been waiting all day. The father, just as curious as everyone else, decided to go outside and speak with them. The family gathered at the door as he stepped out into the yard. The 3 old men stood up when they saw him, and there was a moment of silence as the father greeted them respectfully. "Please, come inside," he said. "You have waited long enough. Let us welcome you properly." But the old men had something surprising to say. The 3 old men looked at each other, and then the first one spoke. "Thank you for your kind invitation," he said in a gentle voice. "But we cannot all enter your home together. You must choose only one of us to come inside." The father was puzzled. "Why is that?" he asked. "Surely all of you can come in and rest. Our home is open to you." The first old man shook his head. "I'm love," he explained. "If you choose me, your home will always be filled with love and peace." The second old man stepped forward. "I am wealth," he said with a firm voice. "If you choose me, your home will be blessed with riches and prosperity." Then the third old man spoke up. "And I am success," he declared. "If you choose me, you will achieve great things and be successful in all your endeavors." The father was surprised by their words. He had never encountered such a choice before. How could he decide which of these 3 great blessings to invite into his home? He knew that each one of them would bring something valuable to his family, but he could only choose one. The father turned to his wife, his mother, and his children. "What do you think?" he asked. "Which one should we invite into our home?" The family was quiet as they considered the old men's offer. The mother thought about the comfort and security that wealth could bring. The father considered the pride and recognition that success could offer. But the children and the grandmother had something else in mind. "I think we should choose love," the grandmother finally said. "With love, our home will always be warm and happy." The children nodded eagerly. "Yes, let's choose love," they agreed. "We want our family to be full of love." The father and mother looked at each other, still unsure. They knew that love was important, but they also understood the value of wealth and success. It was a difficult decision, and they needed to think carefully about what was best for their family. The family gathered together to discuss, knowing that their choices would shape their future in ways they could not yet imagine. The family, including the children and their grandmother, gathered in the living room to discuss their future. The mother argued that wealth would make their lives easier, but the father agreed that success could bring recognition and respect. However, the grandmother emphasized the importance of love, which keeps a family together and brings joy and warmth. The children agreed that they wanted their family to be happy and filled with love. They considered the promises of wealth, success, and love from the old men who were waiting outside. The father agreed that love was the most important thing, and the mother agreed to choose love. The family then turned to the 3 old men waiting outside, who informed them that they had made their decision. Love, the first man, smiled warmly and said they had made a wise choice. As he entered the house, wealth and success also entered, causing the family to be confused. Love explained that choosing love brings wealth and success into their lives, as a home filled with love attracts prosperity and achievements. The family was overjoyed, as they had chosen love, and now all 3 blessings, love, wealth, and success, were entering their home together. The house seemed to glow with warmth and happiness as the old men stepped inside. The family knew they had made the right choice, and their home would be filled with love, joy, and abundance from that day forward. 3 old men, love, wealth, and success, entered a house, bringing warmth, contentment, and hope to the family. Love, with his kind eyes and warm smile, assured the children that, with love, their family would always be close and happy. Wealth, with his comfort and security, promised their family would never have to worry about money, providing everything they needed to live comfortably and enjoy life together. The parents exchanged a relieved glance, knowing that with wealth in their home, their children would have a bright future full of opportunities. Success approached the family, calm and confident, offering to help them achieve their dreams. He promised success would follow them in school, work, or any other endeavor. The father felt a surge of pride, knowing that with success by their side, they could accomplish great things. The family gathered around the 3 old men, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude and joy. Their home, once simple and ordinary, now felt like a place of warmth, love, and endless possibilities. They knew that as long as they had love, wealth, and success in their lives, they could face anything that came their way. From that day forward, the family lived in harmony, filled with laughter, love, and the blessings that the 3 old men had brought. Every time they looked at each other, they were reminded of the wise choice they had made, knowing that love had brought them everything they needed to live a happy and fulfilled life. The family experienced remarkable changes when 3 old men moved into their home. They noticed a sense of peace and fulfillment, with the air becoming lighter and the atmosphere filled with warmth and joy. Wealth was immediately felt as the father's business flourished and the mother's savings stretched further, allowing them to afford better food, new clothes for the children, and even luxuries they had never dreamed of having. The family also felt a strong desire to share their good fortune with others, helping their neighbors, donating to those in need, and supporting local causes that improved their community. Their generosity was like a river, constantly flowing and replenishing. The children were delighted to see the change in their lives, as they had more toys to play with and more books to read. Their home became a safe and loved place where they could share their hopes and dreams without fear. Success worked its magic in subtle ways, with the father receiving prestigious awards for his business achievements, and the mother finding her creative talents blossoming. The grandmother, who had always been the heart of the family, watched these changes with contentment, knowing that wealth and success were wonderful gifts, but not the love that kept them together. As the days turned into weeks, the family grew closer, bound by the love that filled their home. They made time to be together, talk, laugh, and support each other, sharing their hopes and dreams with the help of love, wealth, and success. The family learned that true prosperity wasn't just about money or success, but about the love they shared, the kindness they showed to others, and the joy they found in being together. The family's prosperity led to their becoming known as beacons of kindness and generosity in the village. They welcomed people for advice, help, and warmth, always ready to share what they had received. One day, a poor man arrived at their door, torn and weary from a long journey. The father welcomed him, offering him a seat at their table and a warm meal. The children, curious and kind-hearted, sat nearby, eager to hear the man's story. The man shared that he had lost everything, including his home, family, and livelihood. The family listened intently, and the father offered him to stay with them for as long as he needed. The man was overwhelmed with gratitude, but the family waved away his thanks. The mother explained that love is the greatest gift they have, and it's meant to be shared. Over the next few days, the man grew stronger and healthier, nourished by the love and care he received. The children kept him company, telling him stories and playing games to lift his spirits. The grandmother often sat with him, offering words of wisdom and comfort. As the days passed, the man's sadness began to lift, and he smiled more often and started helping around the house. One evening, the man spoke up, saying that his kindness had changed his life. The grandmother replied, "You have already given us something very precious, your trust. By accepting our help, you have allowed us to share the love and blessings we have received. That is a gift in itself." The man was deeply moved by her words and promised to carry her love with him when he left. The family smiled, knowing that their choice to invite love into their home had brought them this opportunity to help someone in need. They learned that true wealth and success were not just about what they had, but how they used it to make the world a better place. The next morning, the man bid the family farewell, feeling lighter and guided by the love he had received.